What's up, everybody? So, this is ChazzyTv, and I am doing my series on technology here. And so, I call myself a little something different every time I do a different kind of segment. So, this one's called ChazzCoin. Welcome everybody. I'm ChazzCoin, and I'm going to talk about cryptocurrency and technology in this one. And I really want to focus on Flare, XRP, Spark, and the whole ecosystem of what's going on right now. There's a lot of questions in the current XRP community, and I want to make sure that I go over a couple different things. And the main thing really is, number one, I want to talk about what is Flare and kind of what they're doing, and get a good general macro overview of what Flare is, and what the Spark coin is, and what the future of this is, how that mingles with XRP, and then number two, I want to talk about how the airdrop works, what it is and how it works, and kind of give you a little bit of a step-by-step to walk through it. I won't actually do it just for the purposes of the video length, but let's dive into this. So let's talk about Flare. So let me pull up my web browser here. So Flare here is it's a new blockchain. It's a new network. It's not XRP. It is not Ethereum. So do not. Everybody keeps conflating the idea that Ethereum and Flare are like the same thing or one and the same. This is not true. Flare is its own network, its own blockchain. It's separate from everything else. It will have a native coin of Spark, and Spark will be the coin of it. So if you think about it like this, you do have Ethereum, which is a network. It holds a blockchain of a ledger of all the transactions that take place, and there are nodes and servers that run it. All right, so it essentially at that point has a coin that is Ether, and the coin is what runs the whole ecosystem. And then there are smart contracts, there's the EVM and stuff like that, but let's kind of stay on the surface level here. Flare is the same idea. It's its own network, it's got its own nodes, its own servers, its own little ecosystem, all right? And it's got its own native coin, Spark, that helps run the network, all right? How these things run are different. Now, they both use and utilize and have integrated what we call as the EVM, the Ethereum Virtual Machine. That is not Ethereum. This is not Ethereum. The EVM merely takes smart contract code, converts it into processor language for the computer to understand, and then runs that code. All right, so we need to understand that the EVM is really just for the developers and the smart contracts. And this allows developers who are for the Ethereum ecosystem, building smart contracts, building cool projects, they can now easily or fairly easily branch over with their existing code to the Flare network, and they can start running their same smart contracts and projects on the Flare network. So you can really branch around, and Flare is not the only one utilizing the EVM, so let's keep this in mind as well. There's a couple of different blockchain networks out there that are projects that are starting up that do utilize the EVM. So these developers are creating an EVM ecosystem where you can kind of branch around. So really cool stuff. All right, so what they've done though for Flare is they've just copied the way that XRP's ledger runs and works, the way the consensus algorithm in the ledger kind of comes to a consensus and validates and everything like that. They copied the XRP ledger on that one, but then they took a different step. The EVM is not integrated into the XRP ledger. In fact, Ripple even said when they built this thing, they did not want smart contracts and a full Turing processor, capability into the network. It would slow down the network. XRP was designed to have super fast currency transition, so you exchange. So when I give you XRP, it's instant. It happens. I can't even send someone coins, and they can't switch over to that app fast enough to see it happen. You know what I'm saying? It's so quick, and a lot of the reason why Ethereum has the degrade in quality and speed on their transactions is because of the EVM. It's a lot of processing power, and it takes a lot of time to run these smart contracts. So when you kind of take this thing out of the ledger and the network, then you have something more like XRP where it's super fast, super efficient. But that also takes out the smart contract aspect, which is where Flare comes in. So they've essentially taken XRP's idea and how well done their consensus algorithm is, and they've just redesigned it so that essentially they can run the EVM with it as well. So we should theoretically, we don't know this, but we should theoretically see improved speed of transaction even when running smart contracts versus Ethereum. So this is a really big kind of like battle going on in my head, at least, that Ethereum is this top guy and all these little guys are trying to bring them way up and say, hey, we're just as good if not better than you are, and we can do everything you are. And I think that's really what Flare is saying. Not only that, but they're going to branch a lot of currencies and chains together. They're allowing XRP to get put into the Flare network, locked up, and then utilized to run smart contracts, which is what the asset is, the FXRP. And just to kind of give you a brief rundown of what the FXRP is, you need to kind of understand that there's an ERC20 token standard on the Ethereum, where you can build tokens. Uniswap is a token, right? It's not a coin, and I'll talk about coins versus tokens in another video, but ultimately you can build projects that have their own tokens and coins essentially on the Ethereum network. So Uniswap allows you, it has their own coin, and then, or token I should say, and then they allow you to then exchange other tokens, all right? Now these tokens are really just smart contract code, all right? And to run this smart contract code, you need the EVM, the Ethereum virtual machine. It takes in this code, it converts it, it then runs it for you. This is a really crucial thing, all right? So that process now is being taken over to the Flare network. And therefore, I kind of lost my train of thought there a little bit. So let's take a step back here. We're going to see faster transaction speeds. We're going to see lower cost transactions. I think when it comes down to it, man, I'd really like to know what I was headed on that one. So let's dive into, since we talked a little bit about Flare here and kind of what it is. It's just an Ethereum competitor that allows you to, that's where I was going with the ERC20 tokens are the same as F assets. So you have ERC20 and you have FXRP. Let's remember those two. All right. So that's the same thing, just called different on different networks. Now let's talk about the airdrop. All right. What is the airdrop? What does it mean for you, and how does it work? The airdrop is essentially just saying, hey, we're running this network, we're about to start it up, we're about to, get it going, but the only way to really get it going is by to have a bunch of people have coins immediately, invested interest immediately from day one. All right, so we've seen this before. We've seen Ethereum actually shifted and broke. They did a hard fork, and they essentially just gave everybody double coins, so like anybody who had Ethereum at the time when the split happened, you now had an even amount of Ethereum Classic and Ethereum coins, so you kind of doubled up in a sense. Bitcoin's done this. A bunch of people have done this. A bunch of people kind of broken off, hard forked, and then you essentially get multiple coins. And that's essentially kind of what they're doing here, is they're just saying, hey, anybody who holds XRP, since we're already utilizing the XRP system, anybody who holds it, we're going to go ahead and match you, and we're going to give you that many Spark coins for your XRP coins. So go ahead and give you an invested interest. That way we can go ahead and jumpstart the network and get it going way faster this way. All right. So that's a really kind of an important step that they're going to have to make. Well, the way to do that is they're going to have to take a picture of the XRP ledger. So what my account, what your account is, and how much it has in it. They need to know how much does each account have, and who do I need to give it to, where do I need to send it. All right, when the network begins and they go live and it all fires up, all these accounts need to be made, but they need to know, how do I make it, what do I make, so that you can get into it, and then how many coins do I drop in. So the snapshot is essentially just saying, hey, we want to see who is prepared a Flare address and how many coins do you have that I need to give that address. So they've gone through these steps here, and if we look over here at the web browser, this is how you claim. You have to put in, you need an Ethereum-based address, one that you own the keys to. And don't think that this is suddenly going to have more Ethereum coins, or it has nothing to do with that. It's just because they use the EVM. At that point, they use the same address scheme, all right? So when they use the same address scheme, it's very easy for the EVM to initially create and activate all these addresses. So they want you to have your own privately owned, not used through an exchange, because if you don't own the private keys, you don't own the account. You're just leasing it from the exchange and they're giving you access. They're allowing you access to that account. So you need your own Ethereum wallet that you've created. It doesn't matter if it has coins in it or not. It's really kind of irrelevant. So as long as you own the private key to that, then they're going to say, hey, we need to get that address. We need that address, that public address. We're going to create this account for you on the Flare network, and we're going to go ahead and activate it for you. And then we're going to drop in 15% of the coins into this address for you, so that when the network starts, you can go ahead and use this Ethereum-based address, use your your private key to unlock the account, and then you'll have 15% of your coins in there. We don't know when this date's going to happen. It's coming soon, but all we do know is that on December 12th, we're going to have the actual snapshot. So whatever's in your XRP account on December 12th at midnight GMT time, remember that, because if you're in America, it's going to be on December 11th during the middle of the day. I think for me, I live in America, and it's going to be somewhere around 6 p.m. I believe. If I'm not wrong on that, please go double check this. It's probably not going to be on December 12th. Very few amount of people actually that are going to be watching this video are going to be December 12th. You most likely will land on December 11th. So don't think that you have until like midnight that night. No, you don't. Make sure that you check on that. They're going to take a picture on December 12th, midnight GMT time, and they're going to say, all right, whatever was on the XRP ledger, whatever was in your account at that moment is then going to be used when the network launches. So whatever you do before, within a minute, or whatever, a second before or after the snapshot is actually taking place, it's irrelevant. All right, whatever that snapshot gets, you move all your coins out, you can convert them all, you can have 0 XRP the next day. It really doesn't matter. As long as whatever the snapshot has, that's what it's going to end up giving you. It's going to start off by giving you 15%, and then over the 2-3 years after that, they're going to continue to drop a percentage in every month. And that's a video for another day. And if you want to read more into that, Hugo from Flare, the CEO and founder of it, he talked a little bit about this, put out a blog post. He also had an interview. Really smart guy. Had a couple conversations with him privately, and really trying to help the community every way he can. So he came out and said that about the 15% in the 2 to 3 years. Now, when it comes to claiming your Spark, let's just go ahead and go over this real quick. There's a website by Wietse if you are kind of more Netherlands and Dutch. I'm pretty sure. I hope I'm not wrong on that. Really cool developer. This guy created Zoom and a lot of XRP Tipbot, a lot of other cool stuff. Really cool. He's been a part of the community for a while. He built this website with Flare, flare.wietse.com. When you come here, it kind of gives you a step-by-step breakdown. All right. So if you have your Zoom or you have your Ledger or another way, you can go either way. I have a Zoom account or a Zoom wallet that I use. I love Zoom. Wietse, well done. It's really great. For all my XRP stuff, I do a lot of like DEX trading on there, but maybe I'll talk about that. I don't really want to get into a lot of trading stuff because I'm really not good at it. So we click continue here. It's going to want you to log in and scan this. So when you get on the app, you're going to scan this on the app. It's going to come back here, and it's going to say, all right, I need you to have an ETH address. So if you need to create one, you can come over to myethwallet.com and you can create yourself a little wallet here. And then when you're done creating that wallet, you need to remember to save that wallet private key. The address and the private key, whatever it gives you, you need to save it forever because you're going to need it. If you do not save it, you will never get these Spark coins. All right, so I created my new one. Let's proceed. It's going to ask you what is that address. I'm going to put it in. I don't have an address off the top of my head right here, and I don't really want to give out any addresses. I'm really weird about that. You probably should be too, even if it is public. But you want to give the public address for that new Ethereum-based wallet. And if it's not new, it doesn't matter. But as long as you own the keys to it, put it in here. You're going to say next. It's going to say, all right, we need you to confirm this. What you're going to have to do on Zoom, you're going to confirm the transaction. This is then going to go ahead and write this new Ethereum-based address into your XRP accounts on the ledger so that the ledger understands and sees it now. Then at that point, you should be done. All right, and if you want to go double check on this, you can go to a website called bithomp.com/explorer, and you can put in, this is my address right here for one of the accounts that I hold for, but it's kind of ownership fund. And you can kind of, once you put it in and you search, it'll pop up all this information right here. Each transaction that you've made, what did you do, etc. So right here it tells you how many coins I have. This one tells you kind of, a little bit of a breakdown of the details of the account, but this is the important one that you want to see. You want to see a Flare address, and you want to see the exact address that you give it. Like whatever your your Ethereum-based address is, you want to give it that address, and you want to make sure that that's the address you see right here. All right, so Flare address, boom, right there, we're all good to go. You can even see I added it on August 26th. I added this address right here. That's the address. You should see this address appear. Actually, I changed it. If you look a little bit later, like 3 hours later, I changed the address. So that even shows you that if you give it the wrong one or one that you don't want, I created a new one. I remember I have a couple different XRP accounts. I created a new one so I could have all the Spark drop into just one account instead of like 4 different ones. So that way I went back and changed it, and you can do that. It doesn't matter. This isn't like an immutable ledger in a sense. It's just each block is immutable, but that's a story for another day. So here's how you can verify everything. It's a really cool little way. So claim it there, verify here. If you need one, an Ethereum wallet because you don't have one, plenty of people don't, you come to my ETH wallet. It's a good place to just go ahead and get a wallet. So all this will take place sometime when the network kind of launches. You'll be able to get on into a supported wallet, and let's go ahead and talk about that for a second. These supported wallets, this right here, wallets that are allowing the claim and will support the Spark token. All right, hold on, let me start at the top here. Wallets that are allowing Spark token claim only. All right, only. I had a debate with someone, I'm pretty sure, on Reddit the other day about this one. It's really kind of confusing, but let's make sure we understand this. You can only claim the Spark tokens on one of these exchanges or these apps. You can't actually get on and use the Spark tokens or retrieve them or use them or do anything with them, send and receive based off any of these as of today. These only allow you to help go through this little process or their own little process to then be able to claim your tokens for the future. Now, below here it says wallets that are allowing the claim and will support the token itself. So these right here, these guys, MetaMask makes sense. All this makes sense. This is an Ethereum-based, address scheme. So they kind of already, MetaMask is already going to have a lot of this kind of built into the background. So this won't really be a huge change for them. But these are the guys that, if you have a MetaMask account or a wallet, you can go ahead, when the Flare network launches, you can go ahead and get on MetaMask, put in that wallet, that Ethereum. It's going to say, hey, you have a Flare address, though. It's not going to be like, hey, you have Ethereum address. No, it's a Flare address. They're going to do an update at some point. You'll be able to follow the steps for Flare, put in that address, that secret key, and you're going to be able to access your coins at that point through one of these. I kind of assume that these guys will kind of fall under the support of the coin as well, and not just the claim. But let's just remember that if you have Exodus, let's say, that it just does the claim. It's not allowing you to actually access the coins one day. At this point, this could change. It is changing all the time. Now, when it comes to exchanges that are supporting this, and what this means is, if you hold coins in one of these exchanges like BitHump, they're going to support the fact that you do get those coins. And so therefore, you do nothing. You can ignore all of what I have told you so far, because really in the end, they'll go ahead and you share. This gets complicated, but you share an account with everybody else, and you're just told you have, let's say you have 20 XRP sitting in an account. Well, really that account is holding probably 1 billion XRP, and they just tell you own 20 of the billion. So ultimately, Bitstamp will say, hey, here's our XRP account, which holds 1 billion coins, and we need you to send it to this Ethereum-based address XYZ. Well, they're going to send over 1 billion coins, and then they're going to, at that point, distribute those billion Spark coins out to everybody. Not really, because you'll just have a new wallet on your exchange, and it will say you own 15% of that 1 billion, So, and then that's all you really see. You all share an account. This is very interesting. I really want to do a video on it, because you can put in like an XRP exchange address into Zoom, and you can watch in real time as transactions are just flowing through it. So you can kind of see a lot of the fact that they're using just one address for a lot of these things. So if you're on an exchange, you don't need to do anything. Everything will get taken care of for you. I do suggest though that you get off an exchange with primarily most of your money, and keep a small amount on there for actual trading or bailing out. Exchanges, you don't own your account. They do. So if they want to lock it, they can do that. There's nothing you can really do about it. When you own your own private keys, they can't do anything, no one can, you own them. So as long as you own that key, no one can touch your crypto, and that's really important. Exchanges are really only good for trading, and even then I can tell you that a DEX might be better for you depending on what you're trying to do, and going to a fiat cash, that's a huge one. Exchanges are really big for that. So these are the supporting ones. If you need to know any more information about this, just go to flare.xyz. You can go over here to Twitter and look up Flare Networks, at Flare Networks. They give they're really active on here, and they've got a lot of really good information flowing in daily. I try to keep up with them that way. We also have the Flare Networks subreddit. I'm privileged to be a moderator over here. I've had a lot of communications with the person who started it, and they're really cool, and the community here is just booming. Now the XRP Reddit community, I have a little bit of misunderstanding of how they're running that one, but the Flare network has really been cool, and the community's really been fantastic. So if you need any more information, please just drop over here and come take a look. It's trying to be as active as possible. You know, they're trying to figure out how do you do this spark claiming and all of that. So if you need any more information, that's really a good place to really go, in my opinion, to the community itself. There's over 1,000 people, and we got 1,100 people rapidly approaching. So really cool place. I suggest going there. My name's ChazzCoin, even on Reddit and Twitter. So if you want to shoot me out and ask me a question, feel free. Put something in the comments below. But if you really want to chat with me or ask any kind of detailed questions, Reddit's probably the best place to be. My wife hates it because I'm on it all the time, but it's great information. So that's really it. Let's cut back here. I appreciate you staying with us, or staying with me, I should say. It was really fun. This is ChazzyTv, and I'm ChazzCoin doing some tech talks, and I hope you come back. I'm going to do a lot more, talk about crypto and blockchain and the whole ecosystem and how it all runs and how it all works a lot more in depth. I think there's a lot of information here. I'm not going to only do that and pigeonhole myself into that. I'm a programmer by full-time trade. I have my own home server and lab. And a server room that I just built, actually. I'm sitting in my new studio. The walls haven't even been painted. It's kind of the beginning of my road. It's really cool, but I love technology. I'm deep into it, so I figured what better way than to start helping people understand about technology. And stay tuned, because more's coming, and I really can't wait for my favorite thing is one point when I get big enough, if I get big enough, we'll have a support side of things so that you can come in, and I'm going to try to do it live where you can say, hey, here's here's my problem, and I want to help kind of diagnose through it. I can't figure it out, and I would like the community, not just me, to help kind of do that. I worked at the Genius Bar in the Apple Store for a long time, and I don't want to say a long time, but a nice little while. Did a lot of support there, and it was a really cool experience. So hardware and software, really enjoyed that. I want to bring that back to the table. So I appreciate you sticking with me. Come back for more. I'm going to put up a couple more videos. It was a great time, and I guess till next time. See ya.